Hi, I am Susan Story, and tonight we are making sauerkraut. There's all kinds of different ways you can make sauerkraut. I call it sauerkraut because the main ingredient is cabbage. And so what I've done here is already pre-grated a big head of red cabbage, and I've grated 2 beets. And then over here I've got turmeric, galangal root. Here's a turmeric, galangal root, and ginger are all together. A lot of people have never seen these before. Galangal root is this. Looks a lot like the ginger. They're in the same family. The galangal root is a little bit stronger. And then this is what the turmeric looks like. And all 3 of these are excellent for anti-inflammatories. And then also over here, I've chopped up a bulb of garlic. So I didn't chop that real fine, just in kind of big chunks. I'm going to stick that in here. Sauerkraut is so easy to make. I'm going to do 2 different things, so I'm not going to put all of this in here, but probably about a quarter to a half a cup of the turmeric and about the same of the ginger and galangal root mixture. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the rest of that in a minute here. And so with the sauerkraut, you're just gonna, they say to massage it. And with the red cabbage and the beets, my hands will probably be red, at least pink, for a couple of days. It doesn't just wash off. And I don't know if you can see, but it's getting kind of juicy. I started before the video started to get it moving a little bit. And now that my hands are horribly messy, I'm going to make a bigger mess. So my rule of thumb is about a teaspoon of salt for every pound of veggies that I'm using. And it was 2 pounds of cabbage. So I got about 3 pounds of veggies here, and the salt, I already put 1 teaspoon in. So here's the other 2. And I'm just going to mix this salt in here. And the bad part about making sauerkraut is that you don't get to eat it today. So I have this crock, and then I'm just going to put this mixture in there. Everything that I get on the counter is going to stain too, but that's okay. We live here. Okay. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to get this and smush it down. And then the idea is that the salt is going to help to bring the water out of the veggies, and then it's going to ferment. It's going to take about 3 days to start with, and then it's pretty much based on taste. So you can either pull it out and refrigerate it at that point, or you can keep it going for a little bit longer. And I didn't save a big enough piece of cabbage. You're supposed to save a big chunk to hold the rest of it down so that it stays below the water. And I'll show you a trick. Since that doesn't really work very well, I get a bowl that fits in this crock, and I just push it down in there, and then I put the lid on. And I set it aside and leave it for 3 days. So, aside from the mess here on the counter, next, we're going to ferment the roots. So, I've got a gallon jar here. Obviously, it doesn't have a gallon of water in it, but close to it. And then I'm just going to put the rest of this stuff in here. So again, it's galangal root, ginger, and turmeric root. And my understanding is that the body utilizes the turmeric much better when it's been fermented. So the fermenting process that we're doing with the sauerkraut utilizes salt, and with this, I'm going to put organic sugar in it. So to make this, you use a cup of sugar for a gallon of water. Since there's not quite a gallon in there, I'm just going to put 3 of these in. So we've got 3/4 a cup of organic sugar, and then obviously this is not labeled, but this is water kefir. And if you can see the things floating around in there, yeah, that's gross. But that's the good stuff. That's the part we want. So I'm going to pour some of this water kefir in here. And that's going to start the fermenting process quicker than if I let it do it all by itself. So next, what I did not do is get a cover, and all we're going to do is get a piece of cheesecloth and set that on top of here with a rubber band, and that'll start to ferment. Again, minimum 3 days. It'll start making bubbles and growing, and then I'll probably let it go for about 3 weeks, and then we'll strain this stuff out of here and use it as a tonic.